Hi guys, so today I'm here with Rebecca Farrell. She's the owner of The Ripe Stuff, and for those of you that read my blog, you know that I just did a 2-day cleanse with The Ripe Stuff. You know that I also have tried Blueprint in the past year. And so Rebecca, you basically started this company on your own. You used to live in New York City and you noticed that there was nothing in Boston. So here are the typical 4 juices that you get in a juice cleanse for those of you guys that don't know. I asked you guys on Twitter what questions you had for me to ask Rebecca. So Rebecca, some people were curious about the amount of calories and the sugar in the cleanse itself. So basically, I think what the person was asking more specifically is, are the calories too low that you're gonna go into starvation mode, number 1, and is it an overwhelming amount of sugar?
The calories aren't too low. They're around 1,200 calories, which if you're doing the master cleanse, you're not getting any really. And most women tend to need 1,200 to 1,600 calories if they're sedentary. So I don't promote heavy exercise. Don't go spinning for an hour, go for your marathon training run. But if you're only burning between 1,200 and 1,600 calories, then you're good to go.
And so I know I told you guys whenever I do the cleanses, I don't do any cardio. I sometimes will go to bar method, but that's about it. The other question we had was, what about juicing when you're on chemotherapy? So we know that juices can be really beneficial to someone with a disease, but when their immune system is down, what would you recommend?
Yeah, it's really important when you're going through something like that to have optimal nutrition, and juicing is a great way to get that nutrition because you can stuff a lot of lettuce, a lot of spinach into these juices. I mean, we could use an entire bag of spinach in there and you wouldn't even know it. But we do not pasteurize our juices, they're raw. So if you do have a compromised immune system, you might want to be drinking something more pasteurized. So
we already kind of touched upon this with the exercise. And lastly, people want to know, is it safe? Do we need to? Don't our bodies naturally detox?
Our bodies do, but when you're constantly putting bad stuff in them, it's really hard for them to do that, and our environment has become pretty toxic. So even if you're just having it for breakfast and then eating a late lunch, it's a really good time for your cells to kind of relax, detox. They're not overwhelmed with digestion and they can let go of the toxins.
After I did the 3-day cleanse, I found that I loved the green juice. So I kept talking about it, I kept going to different places and I would get one. A lot of people in the juicing community, especially raw vegans, they like to have a juice for breakfast and they actually don't eat until noon. What is the major benefit to having a juice for breakfast?
Well, I like to have a healthy breakfast to kind of get my day started in the right direction. So, rather than having something sugary and carby and whatever, starting with the juice really sets the tone for the day.
Okay, awesome. All right, so now we're gonna go and make the juice. So this is the first time I've ever made a juice at home. We're gonna make a green juice. One rule of thumb that you and I were talking about is you wanna have kind of be, what is it, like 3 vegetables to 1 fruit, or?
Yeah, you wanna sweeten it up a little bit. I mean, you could use 1 or 2 apples or like a cup of pineapple or mango, something to sweeten it up.
Okay, and so today we're using the Bella NutriPro juicer. They were kind enough to send it to me, and so we're just gonna make 1. So since this, again, is my first, I have no idea. How much ingredients do we need to make 1 juice?
Yeah, we're gonna use about 4 pieces of celery.
Okay.
So we can cut these in half.
So you cut them in half to feed them in?
Yeah, so you wanna put all your celery in the juicer. Now, I have a hydraulic juicer. I don't have this kind of juicer.
This is a cold press juicer.
And the hydraulic prevents it from oxidizing. These ones you really want to drink right away for optimal nutrition. After a couple days, they definitely lose their nutrition.
Okay, so for those of you guys that didn't hear, what did you say? This one, they lose their oxidation?
They oxidize right away.
They oxidize right away. So that's why you want to drink them right away. All right, and so here we have romaine.
Yep, so we're gonna use about half of this romaine here. And you can just kind of shove it down the spout. You can see the juice coming out there and the pulp coming out there.
So the juice is coming out there and the pulp is coming out here. So what do people do with the pulp?
Some people make crackers with it or bake with it or compost it. We try to compost as much as we can. So that's great for your garden too, if you want to try to do that. We want to do all the leafy greens first.
Good to know. I had no idea. Why is that?
it just helps press everything down when you're doing the solids last and the leafy greens first.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the. So you can see here, this is a lot of spinach. This is like 2 cups of spinach. So you're getting a lot of nutrition.
Now, it doesn't look like there's that much juice coming out. Will it come out eventually?
Yeah, so you're gonna see that the greens actually, that's very nutritional, but it's very concentrated. So you're not gonna get a lot of juice from that. As we put this stuff in, you're gonna see.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
Now it's
Here you
coming.
go. Oop. So like you can't just like eat that pulp, right? It'd be kind of gross.
Yeah, that'd be kind of gross.
Yeah, I know people sometimes put it in like baked goods.
Yeah, I mean, especially like carrots, put it in your carrot cake or whatever you want to make.
Oh wow. There's a lot of juice in cucumbers.
Yeah, the cucumber is great. It's really hydrating, so that's great.
All right, so the lemon. I asked Rebecca, do you need to peel it? And she said yes.
Yeah, the juicer doesn't really love the rind, so.
Okay, so half of a lemon. There you go.
There you go. You're going to get a lot of juice from that. You want to put your ginger in, about 1 inch of ginger.
We're going to put an inch of ginger, if you didn't hear us.
And our apple, if you want to cut the apple.
Yeah, so what do you do for the apple? Do you do like core it?
Yep, just core it. You can cut it into little pieces just to fit it into your juicer. And if it's organic, you don't have to peel it.
This actually is organic.
Yeah.
If it's not, then you do want to. Now you just kind of keep it going.
Yeah, just let it get all out of there.
Well, now I see a bunch of stuff in here. I guess that's kind of a. Does it depend on like different juicers that you get? Like this will be.
Yeah. So these centrifugal juicers don't extract as much as the hydraulic. The hydraulic really gets like 5 times as much juice out of here.
So yeah. So what do I do now with all of that? I guess.
So your juice is ready to go.
I'll try a sip to see if I like it.
Yeah. So just pour it in your glass.
Well, I guess this is enough.
So there you go, and then there's your morning breakfast.
Yeah. It's really sweet. Should I try it? I'm not sick.
Yeah, they tend to be.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. The ones that you make at home, this is a little spicy, so
We added a lot of ginger.
we added a lot of ginger because we like spice. But if you don't like spice, then you might want to do a little less ginger.
So I didn't know if I wanted to get a juicer because it's so expensive to get all these vegetables and then it's like, this is what you have for all that we used. But that being said, not all of you live in areas where you can have juice delivered to you. So having a home juicer is an option. If you have access to, you know, cheaper produce, then maybe yes, it might be a good idea. With the hydraulics, they are more expensive, right?
Yeah, those run you a lot more expensive.
So this is about a $250 model, and how much is the ones that you use?
Those are a little over $2,000. So these are definitely the ones that you want on your kitchen counter.
Okay, all right, cool. So hopefully you guys at home enjoyed this video. You learned how to make juice, and if you have any questions following up with the juicing and the juice cleanses, leave your question down below, and also check out my blog where if we do get a lot of questions, maybe we'll do a little bit of a live chat and you guys can ask Rebecca one-on-one your questions. So thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys soon.